Hi guys, I'm Lana, and this is the second Breakfast Club. As you've noticed, I'm solo today, and I probably will be for quite some time. Ashlen has officially moved, so she lives in California now, which is about 1,000 miles away from me. And so we're working our schedule out so that we can meet up. Well, right now our plan is every 6 weeks or so. We have a Patreon, it's in the description. It's all about trying to get us together once a month, but we haven't really met our goal, so it's going to be a little more spread out, and it also means that we'll have to fill our schedule a bit more with solo videos. So I wanted to take it as a chance to go over some series that I find really interesting, but that I don't think Ashlen and I would have found interesting really together. So one of those is the DKDTV's series doing Korean explanations for all kinds of K-pop videos, but particularly BTS videos. So this has always been really fascinating to me. I'm always feeling like, because I'm not fluent in Korean, I'm missing so much, both in terms of wordplay and slang and idioms, but also just cultural references and, you know, translation errors. And I really want to know more. I want to see how accurate I am when I interpret these things, or, you know, how much deeper things can be, or if I'm totally off on some things. As a little bit of context, I'm not just doing this because I'm a huge nerd and interested in cultures and everything, but as of right now in my life, there's about a 50% chance that this time next year I'll be planning a move to Korea, probably Seoul, maybe Busan. So I've been actively trying to learn Korean and trying to practice and also just learn more about the culture, because if I move over there, I don't want to be stupid or ignorant. Like, language means the world to me, being able to express myself means the world to me, and the thought of being in a new place, it's already going to be really hard for me to, like, be really clear when I'm not a master of the language. I didn't grow up in the culture, so I really want to learn more, and just, I think this is going to be a fun series, and you guys have recommended it, and I'm just very, very interested. So I'm going to start with Ddaeng. It wasn't the first video uploaded, but I'm assuming it's going to be the one that has the most new stuff for me. I'm pretty sure I get the general gist of a lot of the other songs. I'm definitely will watch and I'll probably learn how much I'm missing. But I know Ddaeng has a lot of impossible to translate information and a lot of cultural references. I have a sister who's Korean. I call her my sister. She was a foreign exchange student with us for a year and just stayed a part of the family afterwards. So, like, not blood sister, but sister. So she grew up in Korea until she went to college here in the States, and she doesn't even stan BTS, but when this song came out, she was texting me quotes from it and just loved it. And I know that a lot of it had to do with an understanding of it that I didn't fully get. So I'm really excited to watch this video, and I hope that you guys are too. Let's watch it and have a little discussion. So, oh, and also, been watching DKDTV for a while. Like, it's a really good channel, guys. You should definitely check it out, even if it's not BTS content. But yeah, 3, 2, 1, go. I'm sorry, one-person reactions are so much more boring than two.
Okay, I know you wanted this.
Please be nice to me.
The rap line of BTS, RM, J-Hope, and Suga dropped a hip-hop track recently on their SoundCloud called Ddaeng. It's a song that has an oriental and trap beat at the same time, and it's also a diss track sending messages to their haters. But the wordplay inside it is just amazing. For example, the title Ddaeng itself is used in multiple ways throughout the whole song.
I know the bell and the English reference. Yeah, it's a card game, right?
These are all card combinations that come from a Korean card game called Sota or Hwatu.
잠깐. 굿땡이요?
Simply think of them as the best combinations you can get during a game. For example, 3 and 8, which is called 38 광땡, is the ultimate pair that nothing can beat.
It's like a lucky hand.
The first meaning of Ddaeng here would be translated into something like better or invincible.
Also, like the library is open.
Again in the chorus, the word Ddaeng is already used in two more different meanings. For these two lines, Ddaeng is used as the meaning of wrong, which originates from the imitation of a xylophone sound used in
That's
quiz shows
one of the ones
or
I knew
auditions
about.
when the participant is wrong or bad. 소나무! 소나무 땡! 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 For this line, Ddaeng is used as the sound of a bell, and it also comes from a children's song called 학교 종이 땡땡땡.
I want to learn a lot of children's songs.
Mentioning homework in the next verse.
I feel like that's a lot of culture.
That this line implies the meaning of
a lot of culture comes from little kids' songs, I mean. Best performance.
The first lines of J-Hope's verse describe the criticism they received in the early ages about their hip-hop or rap style, or BTS being a flop. However, in the next lines, he explains that now they've become a worldwide bang from a Ddaeng.
내가 보기에 너네는 땡. 우리 모두가 땡. 누가 끝발이 좋던 간에 나는 땡전에 상관하네.
His face is a miracle in this song.
The usage of Ddaeng is suddenly changed without any notice. The first
Ddaeng
indicate the meaning of wrong or no, but when he says 누가 끝발이 좋던 간에, he suddenly jumps into the card game again. 끝발 is an everyday slang word for power/influence.
Yeah.
When you see a very successful person, you would say something like, wow,
Those
끝발
buzzed out
죽이네,
references.
or 끝발 날리네. This everyday slang word's origin comes from the card game 섰다 again. Good is a combination of cards equivalent to 1 point to 9 points. It's the most common pairs you will receive during a game. In contrast, a Ddaeng is above all goods.
Ah.
So that's what Suga is saying in his last lines. 나는 땡전혀 상관 안 해. Which means, I'm a Ddaeng and I don't care about you lower class goods. So one more thing before we go into RM's verse. Good has the same sound as good. Yeah, and this good means the end. Suga ends his verse by saying 계속 걱정해주길 good. It could be a double translation as continue worrying about us low pointers, losers, and continue worrying about us, the end. I'm out, mic drop.
Ah, alliteration. I wish that's what I got.
Now personally, RM's part is the apex of this whole song. It's because in one single verse, he uses 7 different usages of Ddaeng. The first line, 캐셔 계산소리 땡, is literally the sound of the cashier opening, which could also imply that he has a lot of money now. And the second line, 어릴 적 좋아함 얼음 땡, is a Korean version of tag. It's when kids run away, they shout 얼음, which is freeze, to get immune from the catcher, and then another survivor can come along and tag the frozen person saying 땡, which unleashes him from the frozen state. And third, 난 딩동, 넌 땡, means I'm correct and you're wrong. And fourth, 넌 칠끝, 난 땡, is again referenced from the
I only
card
knew
game.
like
You might be a 7-pointer, but I'm above that tier. Fifth,
Ddaeng
라면 먹고 잔 얼굴
interpretations.
땡, comes from the expression 땡땡 부었다. It's a fun way to describe your face is swollen after you've eaten ramen last night. 6. 떨거지들 do your thing, 날 봐, 난 네 everything. RM is now playing with language now. The pronunciation of Ddaeng is similar to thang, which is the slang of thing.
He does that a lot.
Last but not least, 7th. 네가 쩔어, 멋져, 겨울
He also uses
RM
Korean that
finally
sounds
uses
like an
another
English
similar
phrase a
sound,
lot.
탱, to make it rhyme with Ddaeng. 얼탱이 없다 is a slang for 어이가 없다, which means dumbfounded.
어이가 없네.
Phew, so basically I would summarize this song as genius wordplay and rhythmical onomatopoeia. The repetitive Ddaeng sound makes the song much more rhythmical and addictive, whereas the various meanings of Ddaeng constantly changing throughout the song make it hard for foreigners or average people to
Which
understand.
is a point,
but
right?
at the same time makes it genius for a rap lyric.
Making it so not Western.
We celebrate rather than being a celebrity. This line shows BTS's attitude or mentality of being a celebrity in a nutshell. It's not about being special or enjoying the spotlight. It's about sharing and returning the love they received by celebrating together. 이름값 하는 개구리들 우물 안에 죽기를. This is a reference from
Fish
a
in a
Korean
small,
saying called
big fish in a
우물 안
small
개구리.
pond. Yeah.
which means a frog is stuck in a well, and he thinks that well is his whole world.
Mm-hmm.
Thus, he's very narrow-sighted, and he thinks he's the best inside that small world. 개구리 usually just means frog, but in this case, I think there's a hidden double meaning inside it, saying 개구리다, which is a slang for fucking lame or foul. I think RM is addressing to the haters in Korea who think they're the best with their own lame songs in this small country. He's saying they should die in this small well called Korea without even having the opportunity to see the big world outside, where BTS is now using as a stage. Last but not least, as a director's commentary, I would like to point out the fact that despite this song being a diss track, there is actually no real hate or toxic cursing inside, but rather BTS chooses to play around playfully with the word
I
"dang"
noticed that
in a
too.
teasing manner and swaggering about their current success. For me,
It was a
this
big
is the
departure
point that
from
sets apart this
Cypher's.
song from all other diss tracks. Low negativity, but comic and satirical high self-esteem.
This great song. So good. Alright, so there we go. I'm actually really glad I watched that. I was only aware of like 3 interpretations of Ddaeng, and to hear a lot more and a lot of the wordplay really made me like appreciate the song more. I already appreciated it a lot and I knew I was missing a lot, but I need to get so much better at Korean. Like, I'm working on it, guys. I actually am working really hard on it. I just really want to understand better, because you can tell when they're communicating, both speaking and singing, especially RM, the rap line, Yoongi and Hoseok. There's a lot of wordplay, and a lot of it that I catch is the kind that's playing with English. Like, I think one of my favorites, I don't know if it's intentional, but in Pied Piper, the line in Korean is, "I'm your guilty pleasure," but the way it's slurred, it sounds like in English, "You're my guilty pleasure," which I always thought was a really cool thing there. But this gave me a whole new, like, little ball of appreciation for Ddaeng, but also I really appreciated the cultural references. Like, all of these little things that most people wouldn't think to tell somebody learning Korean who wants to move to Korea or like really interact with the culture. I'm trying to pick up all of these things because it's the things that kind of set you apart from being a part of the culture and just kind of skimming the top of the culture because you didn't grow up in it. And there's a lot of things that we do in our cultures that we just assume or like take for granted because it's just the way it's always been, that we don't even realize is different or unique until you're in a whole new country or setup. So you wouldn't think to teach that to somebody or to talk about it. It just is suddenly weird when they don't know it. So I think I'm going to really love this series. I'm really glad you guys recommended it, and I really hope it's not boring and awful to just have me and not Ashlen for this. We're going to keep doing group reactions, obviously. It's just we can't do anything timely, and Ashlen is still setting up, so it's really hard for her to do solo videos, but she will. So I hope that you're kind to both of us in these solos. This is my bedroom, this is my setup, this lump is my dog. So we'll just get cozy and, do some things that interest me, and Ashlen will do some things that interest her, and then we'll do some team-ups too. But this one is definitely an interest of mine, and I'm excited to go through it more. If you want to talk more about Korean culture in the comments, please do. I keep learning things from you guys all the time. And I talk about Ddaeng, talk about really anything. I'm really curious. So yeah, tune in next week. I'll just do another one of these videos. It'll be kind of a series until I run out of BTS Explained videos. And again, thank you to DKDTV for doing this for us, because I think as K-pop fans who aren't Korean, it's kind of our responsibility to engage with the culture and try to understand the culture so that we can appreciate it and be polite toward it, so that we're appreciating and not appropriating, Because the last thing I want to do is come off as being ignorant or stealing a culture or anything like that. So, let's all get together and learn something new, and please be respectful to any Koreans in the comments. I don't really get offended at comments unless they're really mean or hateful, and those I usually delete. So like if your comment is still on the channel, you didn't make me that mad. But I've caught a few times people getting really mean to Koreans or even correcting Koreans. Please don't do that. Because our headcanons aren't true. When you're not Korean, the things that we assume are always up for correction. So be kind to each other, be nice to each other. Let's have a cool talk and do some appreciation. So until next time, live long and prosper. Also like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!